and win a big game in a playoff or regular season or whoever it might be.
Yeah, both Powell and AC are both chasing that gold ball big time right now.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't win a state championship, either one of them, I think the season at the end of the year is probably, disappointing.
That's what me and John was talking about on the way back from the Clinton game. At AC, they still need to get that, as you said, a signature win, and they've been close with Powell and Greenville. They've had them on the ropes a couple times as well, and but yeah, they're still get that big win. Really, I mean, they've had some great seasons, especially the last 4 years, and just to get over the hump, they need that big win. Seems like they're just lacking
They beat South Doyle, a couple of years ago when they had a quarterback injury, South Doyle did?
But literally the quarterback broke his leg 2 weeks before they played him.
Right.
And it was at AC. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from that because that was a good win. But last year they had South Doyle beat. And South Doyle comes back and wins. And I wonder, and I say this, you've played a lot more football, but I wonder if Anderson County's woes in the second half, fourth quarter, have to do with those kids having to play so much.
We were talking about it on the way back from tonight. It's like, did AC outplay themselves in the first half, or they didn't have nothing left in the second half?
Well, and Richie sent me a text. I guess he noticed I stuck down there in the end zone right where Powell was coming, and it said, I mean, Gavin was absolutely gassed. And I bet he could have carried the ball 40, 50 times tonight if he wasn't having to play all those snaps on defense. And Powell couldn't stop him.
How many carries did he have?
I don't know. Maybe we'll get some stats here. Maybe Blackerby will call us with some stats, or the Isbells. But when I was driving to the game in the third quarter, he had already had over 100 yards rushing, but he only had like 18 to 20 carries.
Right.
I mean, he was gashing them.
It was very humid tonight. We were in William Blount with Clinton. It was humid, so it was humid everywhere tonight.
Tell us a little bit about that Clinton-William Blount game for the people who didn't get to see it.
That was an exciting game. Clinton came out right off the bat and established their game. I mean, Coach Keith, that's what he wanted to do is take control of the ball and march up and down the field and score. And that's what they did.
They went over 90 yards first possession. 8 up 7 minutes of the first quarter, and it was mainly on the ground. Just big offensive line. This is the biggest line. Clinton's got some beef up front.
The left tackle's at least, 6'6", 250, 260?
Yeah, he looked like a man tonight out there. He's just a sophomore, I believe, and they got a couple other kids.
You got Rhett Savers and
Eric Page.
Eric Page is their second year starting. They're sophomores, and they've already got 2 years almost under their belt, just because of the fact they've had to play early.
Yeah. Now, Clinton, they were able to come up to the jamboree that Five Star Preps hosted at Carson Newman, and the first thing you could see was their line was a lot better than what I got to see Clinton play last year. I got to see him play a couple quarters. Their line looked bigger, they looked stronger, but the quarterback's impressive.
He was impressive, and the line also. And think about tonight, Joshua Keith was in there, and he led him up and down the field, and we couldn't tell if it was an ankle injury or cramps. Then Thagerson steps right in, and they don't really miss a beat, So it was a positive game just because the first game of the year they had some circumstances where they had to bring some kids off the bench to play, and it panned out for them. So enthusiastic year for the Clinton Dragons.
Yeah. Now, who do they have next week?
Austin East at home.
At home. So the new turf field, they hope will be ready.
Yes.
By Friday night.
I think so. They're still hoping. They've made a lot of progress the last couple of days. They're putting it down, and still got a lot to do. But if they work around the clock pretty much, they might be able to get it down.
When's the last time Clinton was 2-0?
Good questions, John.
I would say
14,
2009 season.
Is that when Stone was the quarterback and they went to 10-0?
Stone, Hazelhurst, yeah.
Because they've got a legitimate chance. I watched Austin East play 2.5 quarters of football, and I've watched Clinton play. I would be surprised if
Yeah,
they weren't 2-0.
Clinton will win that game. I think it'll. After what I saw tonight, how dominant they were up front, I expect another big win next week.
Absolutely. Let's take our first call. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Anderson County lost 48 to 60.
Anderson County lost 48-60. Were you able to watch the game on the OEB Game of the Week? All right.
I guess he watched it.
I guess so. But I think Clinton has a legitimate chance to be 2-0. And then who do they have week 3?
Oak Ridge Wildcats.
The Wildcats.
Gaddis and company.
Oak Ridge looked last night. I watched them play, and they looked pretty good. But after seeing Clinton tonight, I was a little worried. But after seeing Clinton tonight, I think the Dragons can play with them.
I noticed up front on their offensive line. Last year they sort of had some, wild blocks going after people. They were more composed tonight, is getting their block and getting their man, and that was it. They didn't look to go downfield. They were just getting their assignments completed, and that was it. This saving energy.
This is the brand of football Coach Key's been talking about playing since he's got there. And last year they got a little away from it. He even said as much. He listened to too many people on the staff and let them influence him because they came out last year running. They were running that spread offense pretty much, and then towards the end of the year they switched back last couple of games to more a power running game that they did tonight, and but that's what he wants to do. He's wanting to establish that he calls it San Francisco 49er type football with a fullback
And Roger Craig.
tailback. Plus they can throw at it with Keith back there. He's dangerous. He can run. Plus he can throw. He hit a bomb tonight to Jeremiah Blauvelt. Blauvelt's about 6'5" receiver, and he hit him in stride. And it was probably about at least 60-yard touchdown pass, wouldn't you say, John?
I would. Pretty ball.
He can throw a pretty ball. He won the passing competition at the 5-Star Prep Jamboree, and I think he tossed it about 58 yards. So he can.
He's got an arm.
And he's not real big.
No, he's not.
But he can move and he can throw it. And like you said, Thackerson came in a couple series after that.
Yeah.
Leads him down the field, scores a touchdown. So, I think it's they're trending in the right way, if you will.
They are.
Exactly, and they're mainly they got a real good sophomore class. All those guys that we're talking about are sophomores, and so Clinton's moving in the right direction. With the schedule this year as well, they dropped Anderson County, and then they lost West and Fulton, in different regions, and so Clinton, Powell, and Oak Ridge, probably the toughest 2 games on their schedule. And after that, I think Clinton could win any of those games.
Yeah.
Maybe even Oak Ridge. I'm not going to say they could beat Powell, but Oak
Be a
Ridge.
nice competitive game.
Oak Ridge game, I think, is after what I've seen tonight. But William Blount, how good are they? So we don't know. I thought William Blount would be a little bit better than what I saw. He actually picked William Blount to win, so I'm glad I lost that pick. But
You picked William. What's here on him? If he would have showed up to the Jamboree like a diehard fan, he would have known they was going to go beat William Blount. Clinton.
Well, we played Grace and Jellicoe. Not taking nothing away from them, but that's not really.
There's been a lot of years that Clinton
Big
couldn't
time.
beat Grace.
Well, I know I'm not Grace. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure how good Grace is this year. But
Grace beat South Doyle last year.
They did.
So
I just think the fact that William Blount come out with a passing offense, they might be just a little bit behind this early in the year like this.
Yeah.
Things just wouldn't lined up. Was the hype of this quarterback. His brother was there for 3 years. Now he's stepping in as a junior, and he just wasn't lined up. And I'm sure they'll dial that in as the season goes on.
absolutely. Go Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
What's down, Cox?
What's going on, Mr. Queener?
Well, other than mass confusion on my part, I didn't think high school football started next Friday.
Well, you know, the retired life can be hard on you.
I'm out of do what?
The retired life can be hard.
Well, yeah, it is hard when you've been at the beach for 2 weeks and it's going to be another week, so it is hard on you. I thought everybody started next Friday. I thought tonight was Jamboree.
Yeah, Jamborees were last week, and week 1, I guess they call it now, was this week. And David, we've talked about this before on the air. Tonight we had a 4-hour high school football game. 4 hours.
4 hours?
Powell Anderson County lasted 4 hours, and Brad did not interrupt the game one time for a TV commercial.
That's got to be the longest. This is probably the latest start you've ever had.
Well, you know, the games got moved up to 7 o'clock, and our show kicked off at 11. You know,
What if
we're usually on the air
yeah.
by 10:15.
Right.
But I think it's the brand of football that's being played now. I was actually talking to an official last week. He wishes they would the NFHS would go to more of the college-style clock, where when the ball goes out of bounds on a pass or a run or an incomplete pass, as soon as the ref gets it back at the line of scrimmage and puts it down, they crank it.
Wind it up.
And with 25-second play clocks on the field and everything else, he would like to see that happen because, like he said, high school football games are lasting 3.5 hours with no commercials.
That's true. That's true, Jonathan. That's true.
And
Don't think about that.
Yeah. I mean, a college football game lasts 4 hours, and CBS makes millions on commercials, and it's drawn out. An NFL game lasts 3 hours on the dot.
Right.
Plus
So-
they got replay.
Hey, Queener, can you believe Sleepy picked William Blunt over Clinton?
No, he didn't do that.
He did.
So I'm not a homer. I'm not a homer like Matt and Eric
Yeah,
Oates.
you're a homer, all right. That's wrong. You can just stop that. You're a
Well,
homer.
Well, I picked William Blunt. I mean, I'll eat crow. You know, I'm glad I lost.
I can't believe that. I don't believe that. That has to be a joke. Is all I got to say. So, and I guess Cox, you told me earlier, Oak Ridge lost last night. They played last night.
Yeah, Oak Ridge lost last night to South Dole. I did not watch the game, but I was told that both teams threw pick sixes. But I ultimately was told that game could have been a 2 to 3 touchdown game. South Dole looked 2 to 3 touchdowns better than Oak Ridge, and Oak Ridge was sort of lucky to be where they were in the game. But it was from everything everybody says, Oak Ridge's running back is arguably the best running back in town. Or excuse me, South Dole's.
No, he
South
got
Dole's.
lathered up. He was tough last time.
Yeah.
Sean Gary.
Sean Gary.
He's hard to bring down.
Getting the kid back for Oak Ridge this year that's been so good.
I don't think the Stewart kid played last night, did he?
Kendall Jackson.
Or Jackson. Did Jackson play last night?
Jackson did not play. I do not know the reason. Really don't want to speculate. I don't know, but he did not play.
Wow, that's tough.
It may have been COVID related.
Wow, that's tough when you got a kid that's that good. I mean, I know Oak Ridge lost a lot last year. I mean, I know they had to probably replace a quarterback, I think, and probably some offensive linemen. So, wow.
Yeah, that was a big key in that game. If Jackson would have played, it may have been a different outcome.
I think both teams, and I heard Oak Ridge's quarterback didn't get to go through a lot of the preseason with them and didn't get to play. And I think he was back, but I don't think he got to participate in any scrimmages. If he did, it was maybe just the last one. But I don't think their quarterback played against Fulton, and I'm not sure that he played against Maryville.
Maybe that's what Oak Ridge was missing last night, because I was looking for a big game out of him. You know.
Yeah, I don't think he had much for preseason. Go ahead, Queener. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I assume the quarterback was Tarwater. He was the backup last year. I don't know if that's the case. It's like I said, I'm a week behind. So, man, I'm looking forward to I'll be back Thursday. I look forward to hearing Coach Gaddis maybe this week what he's got to say. But I always said this. You're going to play Oak Ridge, I think you play Oak Ridge right now. Play them early. And I don't know where Clinton's got them, but I always thought you play Oak Ridge early because I always thought they'd get better towards the end of the year. They get hot at the right time and start winning football games at the right time.
Yeah, they've trended that way the last 2 out of the last 3 years. If you remember 2 years ago, they lost 2 or 3 games. I think they might have lost to Weston Fulton or somebody. I know they lost to Fulton on Halloween that night. And they turned around, I think, and got beat week 1 of the playoffs, first round of the playoffs. But historically, 2 of the last 3 years, they've got much better as the season went on.
That's true.
Well, what about Fulton tonight, Cox? Did they open up tonight too?
Fulton played at Austin East. It was 20-0 when I left. I think they ended up winning 35-0. Yes, 35-0 was that score. Alcoa rolled big time over Ray County, 41-13. The score of that's kind of surprised me tonight was Carter ended up beating Webb, 26-21, and I really thought Webb was going to have a really solid team. But now Carter, for the first time in 8 years, has brought a coach back for his 2nd consecutive year.
First time in 8 years.
First time in 8 years. And I text Jesse that because I was told that by a granddad of the quarterback, and I thought it might have been more like 5 or 6. But anyway, his son's the quarterback, and he has the first time he's had the offense coordinator and the head coach in back-to-back seasons.
Wow.
So, and they sling it around, and so does Webb. So that game sort of got me. Of course, Coalfield beats Wartburg 42-0. Gibbs comes back and beats Halls 25-20. Carnes beat Hardin Valley 21-7. Kind of the talk on social media is how good Bishop is.
Oh, he's
fast.
He's terrific. He's
A beast.
Who did Carnes beat?
Carnes beat Hardin Valley.
Is Potter still the coach at Hardin Valley?
Yes, Mike Potter's still the coach at Hardin Valley. They got beat 21-7 tonight.
I put that Bishop kid, that running back at Carnes, I rank him the best in this area. I would. I saw him play last year, but I think Tennessee's already offered him or some other schools. But if you haven't seen him play, he's worth the money.
He has a different gear. When he gets around the outside, he has a different gear. But like
what
you
about
said,
Rockwood, Cox? What about
Rockwood beat Oliver Springs tonight 41-8.
Wow.
Sunbright went to they beat Cosby tonight 53-24. And then you had Campbell County going down. Campbell County took Anderson County's spot. They went to Chattanooga Central tonight and won 42-24.
They won, okay.
Talked to my boss who went down there. He said there was about 95 people there, and 90 of them was from Campbell County.
They were in that
Pizza League.
pizza.
No, I can't say that anymore. I got in trouble. Don't y'all start.
Corporate, huh?
No, Brad,
What'd
the
you call
boss.
What did you call it?
Well,
I can't even say it, Sleepy. Sleepy's digging over here.
Going back to
The Pizza Plus League.
Pizza Plus,
yeah.
I said,
Going back to Rockwood, everybody's talking highly about Rockwood. I had talked to Ron Berry maybe 3 weeks ago, and just heard a lot of hype on Rockwood, and he said Rockwood had a chance to be a fairly good football team. So apparently, OS must be down a little bit right now.
yeah, they're probably young. We watched that group for 4 years come from Oliver Springs, and I think they're probably a little young, low on numbers. David, did you hear that Anderson County got beat tonight, 60-48?
Yeah, I think you said something about it there just a minute ago. They did lose 60-48 in a 4-hour game, eh?
Yes, so a lot of points scored.
That game would have been 5 hours long if they'd been commercial.
Oh, yeah. If it would have been a Thursday night game of the week, they'd still be over there playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, we talked about Rockwood a minute ago, and why I've got you on the air. And I want these guys' opinion. I'm sure our phones will light up. And I don't see a Kingston score.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
I saw Kingston earlier. They won, it's like 54-0.
Okay, so they win tonight. But I'm going to ask you guys, yes, 54-0 over Harriman. I'm going to ask you guys, Did anybody hear about Colton Aramore not having the opportunity to coach next year? 1 year.
Yeah.
He didn't ask for a special exemption to remain the coach for several years. He asked for a 1 year exemption, and it got voted 5-5, and he's no longer the basketball coach at Kingston.
Right. We talked about that Wednesday night, and as you mentioned, the 5-5 vote, and they said social media in Kingston was ablaze with, everybody supporting Colt, and he just wanted, like you said, a 1 year waiver, and didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, in years where we have so much going on, that community last year really rallied.
If I'm not mistaken, that family has a big business down there that they run through the family, if I'm not mistaken. If it's the same there,
No, different set. Yeah, different
Hey,
set.
let me ask-
Okay.
Yeah, I played golf with his
Cox.
brother. Yeah, different set.
Okay.
You're right. There's an Aramore family that runs one, but that's a different set. Go ahead.
Cox, what was he asking for? What was he asking for a 1 year exemption for? Because I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
And I can give you vague if Sleepy wants to step in. Basically, Colt was the assistant principal last year at Cherokee Middle School and the head basketball coach at Kingston High School.
Yes.
The lady who was the principal at Cherokee moved to a different position. He was promoted the head principal. I guess there is, a bylaw or whatever at the board that says that you cannot coach a team, a high school team, and be a principal of a school in Roane County.
And that's Roane County Board of Education saying that.
That's Roane County Board of Education saying that. So when he got the job, I think he had to, appeal and say, I want to be the coach for 1 more year. And they appealed it, and they had to vote on it, and the school board tied 5-5. I heard a lot of people say, why would does the superintendent break ties? But from my understanding in their bylaws, when it's 5-5, the rule or the amendment stays exactly where it was. So therefore, he's not getting to coach. Is that the way you understood it?
Right, that's what I heard. I didn't think they would take a revote. I haven't heard, but I guess they have to get a majority vote to change it, and it was a stalemate.
Yeah.
And here's a guy that took Kingston really deep last year. Didn't they play for the championship?
Kingston made it to the semifinals and got beat by Jackson Southside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a hometown boy. He's he grew up there and played there. Just a great guy. Great guy, and that's disappointing. He's not going to
Good
get a
brand of
chance.
basketball down there.
Right, he's a excellent coach, and it's disappointing.
Hey, Quater, we appreciate your call. We've got a guy holding here, and then we got Jesse calling in, so we appreciate you. Get you some.
I'll see you next week, Doc.
Well, you might see us. We're getting ready to vote.
Well,
if it's tied, you're not welcome back.
That will be great. But I'll see you next Friday, man.
See you, buddy. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good evening to you there, Mr. Cox. I see you've got Dragon faithful bookends on each side of you tonight.
We do. I'm, I can't say it was the bottom of the barrel because the bottom of the barrel's setting out with his back to the road. But I was scraping.
I thought you was going to say the bottom just got off the bone.
Oh, gosh. Hey, Mr. Henderson, can you hold 1 second and let us get to this call, and we'll come right back to you. This is Jesse Smithy. Let me come right back to you.
Okay, I can call back.
Yeah, call us back after our commercial, okay? Let me get to Jesse.
Sure will. All right, thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Jesse Smithy. You're on the air.
How are you guys? Week 1's in the books. Almost in the books.
Well, week 1's in the books for us. Mr. Queener didn't know week 1 started this week, so he's on the beach.
So he thought it was week 0 again. He was taking it off.
Yeah, he's retired. Every week's week 0 for him.
Well, how are y'all doing tonight?
Well, we're exhausted. I think Brad's exhausted. He had a 4-hour football game with no commercial delays.
Yeah, that's filling a lot of dead air, and that's a difficult task. But what a game that was, and we talked about it tonight on 5 Star Live, and Anderson County, you got to give them this for what Powell did to Bearden in the Jamboree with Walter Nolan and just basically dismantling their offensive line whenever he wanted to. For them to put together a game plan where they could put up 48 points, I mean, I think Anderson County earned a little bit more respect tonight. I think for the first time, guys, I think I'm actually excited for the 4A playoff. I mean, it's always been Greenville, it's always been Elizabethton, and maybe Anderson County can make it interesting. Now you got Anderson County, now you got South Doyle, now you got Fulton. The 4A playoffs this year are just going to be unbelievable.
Jesse, is it fair to say, and we talked about this early in the show, is it fair to say that Anderson County is still really looking for a signature win with this group of kids that's on the field right now over a Powell or a South Doyle or Elizabethton?
I don't even know if a signature win really does anything for them. I mean, they are a legit program. They're not looking for a signature win to build off of. They're there. They're right there on the cusp of where they need to be. It's just going ahead and finishing it off. And tonight they just ran up against a team that might have just had a few more dudes than they did in the end. But they're undoubtedly one of the top teams in Class 4A. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. So whether they get a signature win at some point this year or not, they're going to be somebody to be reckoned with, barring injury, in the 4A playoff.
Yeah, I went to the game, and I was at the Fulton-Austin East game for the first half. And Fulton and Anderson County play each other week 3. And to watch Fulton play for 2 quarters and to watch Anderson County play for a quarter and a half, it was a different level.
Yeah.
It was a different level. So I understand what you're saying, but I still think for your mentality, for what you have to do that you've not been able to do, at some point in time, a program has to beat a team that they're not supposed to beat. So when they get in that playoff game at the end of the year, they don't have doubt, wondering if they can win the ball game at the end. Greenville last year, Anderson County to me looked like they were trying not to lose.
I agree.
And I think that at some point that you've got to come over that.
It was almost obvious last year.
Yeah, you got to overcome that at some point. But like you said, the 4A playoffs, that's going to be one heck of a ride.
What I like about this Anderson County team, and you think back to that Anderson County team a year ago, and Walker Martinez, that was really kind of thrown into the fire halfway through the year. You got a young Bryson Bowell on that team. You got a young Gavin Snow on that team, and one of their top offensive backs got hurt halfway through the year. So I just think this is a team that's stronger now, that's more confident now, a year older now, and I think we're going to see them do good things. But I agree with you. Inevitably, you have to get it done, whether it's like you call it, a signature win in the regular season, or whether they finally get over the hump in the playoffs in the second round, or whenever they go up against one of the top-tier teams.
They'll have a chance here coming up in their first 6 games. Go to Science Hill next week, and they're no slouch.
Science Hill got roasted tonight by Elizabeth.
But, Elizabethton's at another level, I think. But Science Hill, I think, has got a pretty good team. They've returned several starters. Then you got, Fulton after that coming up. But a game I think AC should win. And then you got South Doyle and Ray County coming up. So
they play Ray County this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jesse, we were talking about it earlier. No carries the ball for 23 times for 138 yards. And when I got to the game, that poor kid looked gassed. And we talked about that might be something that hurts Anderson County.
That was his total?
That was his total. So, and when I was driving there, he'd eclipsed 100 yards early in the third. So, they probably had to throw it a little more. Hey, where were you tonight? And give us an update around the area of what you noticed.
Yeah, so we were at Alcoa tonight, the 6-time defending state champions in 3A, and really wanted to kind of get a look before they played Maryville in 3 weeks. Look, we're not going to see Alcoa against Gatlinburg-Pittman or Northview Academy. We don't need to be at those games, but this is our chance tonight to see Alcoa before they took on Maryville on September 10th. And guys, Alcoa looks good again. I mean, there's the reason they're the number one team in our rankings, not only just with their quarterback play and their offensive skill talent, but what they have in the trenches and on the line as well. So that's what it's going to come down to when they play Maryville. That's what it's going to come down to in the playoffs, just those guys that they have on the front, on the offensive front, who are starting to help a little bit on the defensive front as well. We saw Lance Williams, who's a Power 5 prospect, play some nose tackle tonight. And I think we'll see a little bit of that throughout the season because they graduated a lot of talent off that defensive line, and their returning top defensive lineman got hurt in the preseason. He's not expected back until week 4 or week 5. So right now they're relying on a little bit of their offensive line talent to disrupt things on defense, and they did a good job tonight against the Ray County team that won 10 ball games a year ago, and coached by Mark Pemberton, who's one of the state's better coaches. And so Alcoa looks really, really strong again. And other games around the area, I was surprised by Gibbs knocking off Halls. We saw both of those teams in the preseason. I thought Halls would probably win that game by double digits, and they did not do that. And the same goes for Webb School and Knoxville against Carter. They go on the road and lose in Strawberry Plains, and that's kind of not a good start for the Webb team that I really liked a lot. I had them, I think, maybe number 9 or number 10 in my preseason rankings, and I only put up, I think, around 20, 21 points tonight. And I think we'll see that change as they get more comfortable in Rusty Bradley's offense. But Carter had, I think, 3 touchdowns called back tonight and still managed to win that football game 26-21. So those are just a few of the games that I'm pulling off the top of my head that were really standout games tonight.
Now, Jesse, we've got a Clinton guy here that picked William Blunt to win. Who'd you have in that game?
Well, I picked William Blunt to win as well. I mean, that was a program that had a lot of momentum this offseason, and we went out and did a story on it, and they bolstered their coaching staff. Their roster looked like it had some really capable kids on it, especially on offense, and Clinton gets out to a 33-0 lead on them, and you're like, wow. And what's got into Clinton? And I know William Blunt put on a little bit of a rally, but Clinton didn't fold, and so that's a positive sign. That's one big feather in the cap for Coach Keith, and we'll see if they can parlay that and snowball it and get some more wins off that. But man, what a start for Clinton.
You must have missed the Jamboree as well as this fan.
Well, I saw them so well in the Jamboree, and I had some people tweeting at me about Clinton. Hey, you need to give us our respect, and it was like, hold on a second, now this is just a Jamboree, and nobody really did any game breakdown or film breakdown. People just show up and play. Let's wait till the regular season. Well, now they're going to start to garner a little bit of respect after that win over William Blunt. But again, we'll see how they continue that into the regular season. But certainly have some guys that pass the eye test when you see Clinton get off the bus.
And I'll say this real quick. Powell is a really, really good football team. I don't want anybody to think we're taking anything away from Anderson County or Powell. No, they're really, really good. And that sort of leads me to my next question. Next week is Powell Maryville. I know you'll be looking at that game, but what's some other games in the area that you'll be looking forward to?
You're going to kind of help me out with that. I usually don't look ahead into week 2. I couldn't even tell you who plays other than Powell and Maryville. And that's the game that everybody's seemingly talking about right now. But when it comes to that showdown, it's going to be hard to ballpark it because, look, so many teams get better from week 1 to week 2. That's the old coaching adage, right? And Powell's going to see things that it didn't like from week 1 that it's going to get better at. Even though Maryville won big time tonight over Heritage, I'm sure there's things that Derek Hunt saw on film that he wants to get better at. So it's going to be hard to judge Powell just off of week 1.
Last night.
I think they're going to look completely different in week 2 in that game against Maryville.
What about Seymour's win last night? John said that's a pretty good win for them, the way to start off the season. I know they've struggled for the last several years.
Right, yeah, had an 11-game losing streak and got a few good breaks last night. Gatlinburg-Pittman missed 2 field goals in the last 5 minutes of the game. They were long field goals, but missed field goals nonetheless. And that sent the game into overtime, and Seymour was able to block a PAT, and so all they had to do was score a touchdown and make their PAT. And it didn't go so easily for them in that, but they got a couple penalties that gave them extra tries on their PAT and finally booted it through, and so it snapped a long losing streak. Remember, they were 0-10 a year ago and hadn't won since 2019. So for head coach Scott Branton and that programming, to go on the road at Gatlinburg-Pittman and see all the things that kind of went awry in that game and still find a way to win it. That's something that I know that they're going to take into week 2 and try to build off of.
Jesse, is Kingston a team that we need to be watching on our show this year? I know they went 52-0 tonight. I know the district and the region realignment, I think, benefited them. Are they a team until they have to play Alcoa that could make some noise this year?
I think so. I mean, you look back to what they did a year ago, and it was a really nice season for Brian Pankey and Kingston, and that's something that when you start your off-season workouts, your off-season preparation, it just puts you in the right mindset. Say, okay, we're at this stage. What can we do to take the next step? So it's definitely a program that I think is going to, I'm not going to say make noise, but I think they're going to have another solid year.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Jesse, we'll let you go. We need to take a commercial break. Thanks for calling in. Safe travels home. Good job as always. And we will return to the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard Show after this commercial break.
I'm Dale Haddon, the nurse practitioner and clinical manager at the Oak Ridge Clinic. It's very important to get the COVID vaccine. This is a way we are going to make our whole community safe. This is a way we will make you and your family safe. The COVID vaccine is 95% effective when you have had both shots, and it means that you will not get the illness, you will not have the side effects that people see from having illness over a long period of time, and it makes your community safe.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
You call your agent with a simple question, only to get sent to voicemail again. We pick up the phone. Did you get this? Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? Like I said, we pick up the phone because it's ringing. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Hello, this is Sam.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
Welcome back to the Free Medical Clinic Friday Night Scoreboard Show. We really appreciate their help. There are over 14,000 people in Anderson, Morgan, and Roane in our area here that we cover. that qualify for no charge primary care, and you can go to fmcor.org, and I'm sure we'll get that up on our screen to make sure that you can see their website. But we want to thank the Free Medical Clinic for supporting the Friday night scoreboard this year. Guys,
new sponsor. Yeah.
New sponsor.
Right.
And as we all know with this day and time.
A very important sponsor.
Yeah, a very important sponsor. Looking at that, I was really surprised by the Elizabethton score, to go back to that. I talked to Coach Witten a couple weeks ago because they wanted to come to our jamboree, and they had a scrimmage change, and we had a date change, or they were coming. And the one thing he told me on the phone that night was, I want to make this work because I am returning 3 starters on offense and 2 starters on defense, and I've got kids that need dress rehearsal.
Elizabethton, that's all they have.
That's all they return. 5 total starters.
Wow. Did not know
5
that.
total starters. But the main one they have back is the cog in the wheel, the quarterback, Mr. Football.
I just wonder what that facility's like with the key Jason Witten funding, maybe, possibly.
I'm sure they
facilities.
have whatever they need. But, they were in that situation that Anderson County's in. When were they going to win the big playoff game to knock Greenville off? And once they did, they won their 2 state championships.
That went on for years.
I mean, Anderson County beat Elizabethton. So Elizabethton had to find a way to try to beat either Anderson County or Greenville or both of them. And the year that it worked out for them, they only had to beat Greenville. Because remember, they beat them late in the regular season that year. And now all of a sudden they've got 2 state titles. And they walked up to Science Hill tonight, and I think Science Hill scored a late touchdown to make that game within 21 points. I want to say at one time it was 35-7.
How do you see that game next week, Anderson County and Science Hill?
I think Anderson County goes up there and walks them pretty good.
It's a home game.
Oh, sorry. I think Anderson County beats them pretty good. Yeah. Anderson County has to gain confidence from that game tonight.
Yes, they must.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Powell, and here, this is a funny stat. The Isabels, we want to thank Chad and Dale Isabel for sending us the stats. Aiden Green, offered by Tennessee, did not catch a ball tonight.
Wow.
Somebody, a corner or safety, somebody did a pretty good job on him tonight. Redmond, offered by Alabama, offered by Tennessee, offered by anybody, 3 catches. Potts didn't throw for 300 yards. That's very abnormal. But the way Powell had to beat them, obviously at the end when I was there, they were just running the football.
We were listening to the radio and it was just like, what?
Yeah.
Kickoff, bounced off the guy and got it back. It was like, well, this is going to happen,
Yeah. Right. And at that moment when AC got the ball back, down by 6, I thought they would go to no. I mean, I didn't see none of the game. You said thought he looked like a big gas going both ways, but I thought it reminded me of Tennessee and Arkansas. When Arkansas fumbled and Travis Henry, Tennessee just gave it to him. They just went boom, boom, boom. I thought they would go to no, run the ball. At least the first couple plays, I don't know. I didn't really know the flow of the game. I didn't know how Gavin felt and how much they were controlling the line. But, they threw the pick six right there. But, they had time. I thought they might try to run Gavin a little bit, but I don't know really how much success.
Well, I mean, if you just look at the stats, he ran for 138 yards on less than 25 carries. And late in the game, as tired as he was running for 3 to 5 to 7 yards. And I was standing in the end zone, and he's running away from me. I mean, John, you could have still got through some of those holes. And they did a good job. They always ran away from Big Boy. So if Big Boy was on the right, playing on the right side, they'd run left and he'd have a hole. And a linebacker is not going to tackle him one-on-one.
Gavin runs hard.
He's an old school running back.
I'd be wanting 200 out of him every night.
He is an old school running back.
200 yards every night out of him.
Yeah. I just thought they would try to give him the ball, and
yeah, we were shocked.
And it's one of those situations where I'm sure Anderson County's coaches noticed, they scored 48 points. So they probably noticed something on the series before and said, if we get this ball back, we've got this right here set up. Powell might have changed defense or, whatever happens and it's interception.
Was that just a pass out in the flat or down and out? Or?
I was already in my car on the way here. When Powell went up 2 scores, I I hopped in the car and was trying to get here because I figured he'd go a little quicker. But yeah, I mean, he averaged 6 yards a carry tonight. So
you can't never. I tell you, Matt's a fanatic over at Powell. I mean, you can say what you want to about him, but when it gets down to it, he's willing to let go of the ball. He's going to get it done. He don't care what he has to do.
He rolled the dice tonight. Anderson County roughed the kicker when the game was tied at 41-all.
Yeah, we heard that, but we didn't know.
And so the penalty brings it up to the 50, and he kicks an onside kick. And both Anderson County kids are going for the football, and they collide.
You say what happened?
They collide. They're both just trying to make a play, and next thing you know, it's the 2 runs, 20 seconds, touchdown.
Yeah,
That put them up 2 scores.
That put them up 2 scores. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, but I think you can't take anything away from Anderson County.
No,
Powell is a really good football team. They've probably got more Division I Power 5 offers than anyone in our area.
I mean, right, you can't take nothing away from Anderson County. Now, I don't believe anybody expected the Mavericks to go over and win tonight, except maybe the Anderson County team.
Yeah.
I'm sure they thought, they could go over and win, but, I don't think, like the common fan, we was at William Blunt tonight, and they were giving that score out, and everybody was oohing and ahhing,
4 quarters, baby. 4 quarters.
Yeah, but we've seen that, like I said earlier in the show.
It's the 3rd year in a row they've been leading by 2 touchdowns or more at some point against Powell. But the pass was out in the flat. I just got a text and said, yes, the pass was out in the flat. The same person sent me a text like, oh, no, what a play call. But, it's just one of those things. And I'm sure because Gavin was just running it so hard and so well. But tough loss. But like I say, I think they beat Science Hill pretty handily. I think they might win. They might run the table.
Oh, yeah, it's week 1, and the teams that got beat or didn't play like they were supposed to, they're going to make adjustments and come out, and most of the time be a whole different team in week 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they've learned from their mistakes.
Absolutely. So next week, just to bring everybody up to speed, it looks as though Clinton will open their first game on the turf. Talk a little bit about that and what that means to the community and, how all that went down.
Well, I think John and I might have some different opinions. I know on the safety of the turf. I don't know, but I know the community is excited. I think the kids are excited about getting the turf. It's something new. I know they're excited about that, and I know earlier in the year, John was talking about maybe the safety of it compared to playing on grass, but do you know anything about that?
I don't. I just know that it's almost one of those things. If you don't have it, you're behind a little bit. It's a nice thing to show off. I don't know if it's any safe. I don't know. I mean, they played football on grass for a long time, and it seems like concussions are going up. But is that because of turf? Is that because the helmet? I don't know. But will the younger teams, the little leagues, will everybody get to use that facility?
Yes.
Okay, so it will be.
As far as I know.
Okay, will they play soccer games there, or?
I heard they were going to play soccer. Coach Stacy, the new AD there at Clinton, he mentioned that they would be able to play the soccer there, so that's a plus.
Okay.
I'm not going to get soccer, get it lined off for field hockey because, right over here in Knox County, girls are playing field hockey.
A lot of lacrosse going on. Something
right.
We started covering. There's a girl at CAK's, the top 5 ranked lacrosse player in the U.S. Been offered by everybody that's, that's big and like North Carolina's and Virginia's, the lacrosse teams of the world. But the one thing that I think that I look at, and I know both of you are Clinton guys, but I can remember how bad that field was the year that Hazelhurst and Stone and those guys played at home in the playoffs against Anderson County. That field was awful.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had a lot of rain that year. You had a hurricane come in there a couple games, or at least one game, and it rained about every game. But yeah, it was bad that year, no doubt. But it don't take a lot of rain really. you have one
That
game
sets
like
down a little bit of a hole, doesn't it?
you have one game like that, it's going to chew it up
Well,
pretty
my
quick.
thought process on the injuries was, high school teams don't have that much depth, and there's a minor injury going to be seen by a trainer or somebody as a more serious injury than what it is, and bring that kid off the field and hurt the team as a whole. That's the only way I'm thinking about it. That's the only way I'm thinking about it.
Oh, yeah.
Is, their kids are tough. Leave them out there. I hate it when it takes 3 minutes and they got a cramp. That's 3 minutes. They're laying there with a cramp. They haul them off anyway. But that's only my thing is taking kids off the field for a minor injury that seems to be major, but it's a minor injury just because of a turf. Burns, a lot of numbness when you fall on that turf. It's not as soft as people say.
Yeah, that's true. And I think as overall for the community of getting to the baby dragon teams and getting to play soccer and getting to utilize it, and then you do make a playoff run and you play a home game, you don't have to worry about the field condition. Clinton was a faster team that year than Anderson County, and literally it was a slop fest. I remember just sitting there watching like, are you kidding? This is not even enjoyable because of how slick the field. They were coming out of cuts for running, just a 10-yard out, and they were falling down.
At the beginning of the show, you were talking about the LED lights, and Sleepy talked to Mayor Burton tonight about the turf, and they're on order. LED lights for Clinton Stadium are on order. They're just not showing up yet. So we're getting in groove with everybody else. So cookie cutter, here we come.
Well, you got to keep up with the Joneses. You can say what you want to, but if you don't, you're going to lose kids to Anderson County. Anderson County's going to lose kids to, to Grace or Catholic or Powell or whatever it is. You've really, there's a reason why Alcoa several years ago felt like they need to put up a jumbotron. There's a reason why when Alcoa got turf, Maryville, you got to kind of keep up with the Joneses there.
Who was the first school to have turf? Was it Morristown up there? Did they have turf?
Morristown played on turf probably 2 to 3 years before most. DB, and then you had Grace. Grace jumped on the turf bandwagon pretty quick, and then if I don't think I'm wrong here, but the Sevier County schools. The Sevier County schools, and then obviously once the Knox County schools got it, it put Anderson County and Clinton and Campbell County and those surrounding areas in a spot where they probably had to get. Now, I don't think Rome County schools have turf at all, do they?
I don't think they do. William Blount didn't have it tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, does Blount County, does Maryville have turf?
Maryville has turf. Yeah,
William Blount didn't have it tonight. That sort of surprised me.
Yeah, Maryville has. If Alcoa has it, Maryville's going to have it. Maryville has it, Alcoa's going to have it.
Hey, John, let me ask you, what do you know about Campbell County this year? What's their expectations?
They went on the road. They won tonight. I think they've got a really good quarterback, and they got a really good running back. And if they can stay healthy, and I heard this analogy, when their ones are out there, they're okay. But when they've got to get past that, which is a lot of teams, I think numbers are down everywhere. Fulton dressed out 39. Jody texted me if I'm wrong. I think Fulton might have dressed out 39 or 40 kids tonight.
Really?
That's all.
I remember they used to have 70 over there.
Oh, I can remember 2013-14, they had 90 kids walking down the bleachers, and it was intimidating for that other team across the way.
Well, what's going on with that?
Multiple things. I don't think kids play as much anymore. I think, back in the day, if you didn't play football or basketball or baseball, you was going to work. And now, solely sitting over there, they go home and play PlayStation, or their iPad. But, it's one of those situations where and then you got the COVID thing. How many kids went virtual that might, that just sat at home and they're not doing anything? I talked to a teacher tonight, and they said, man, it's been a rough start, middle school. It's been a rough start to the year. Why is that? Well, they haven't been to school in a year and a half.
Some of them are getting sent home now.
Yeah, so that's tough. But, I don't know what the answer is.
Well, I don't think the concussion thing is played out because it's almost being proven that soccer and volleyball just have as much concussions as football does.
Yeah, that's sort of starting to fade away a little bit. No, I'm sure there's still all the protocols, but, you don't hear as much about that. For a while, it was, it was like you was hearing all nothing but that. So, but anyway, but I think the new classification and the new realignment for football. It's very interesting. I noticed on the news last night they showed the 4A and the 5A and the different alignments, and I think it brings a lot more excitement back to our area for some of those regions and the way they're broke down.
Right, with Anderson County, you know, they're getting back playing local, so that was good, and I just like it too, especially in basketball, and sort of waters it down a little bit, but I think it's good for the smaller schools.
Yeah.
Give them a better chance to compete on a state level.
Well, it's like your own county schools. They play in an awesome, and I didn't keep up with that until I started doing this show 5-6 years ago. They play in an awesome, you know, Coalfield, Oliver Springs, the Greenback. That's a very cool region, and it's not changed much over the years.
Right.
And now Kingston's getting to go, you know, play the Loudons and some of those schools of the world where they're not always coming to Knoxville every week. So when they broke it up this time, I still think 6 is way too many. Because when you get, you know, the private schools, you have 9 classifications. And 4 in basketball, I don't know why you need it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you make more money and, you know, at the Murphy Center. I don't know.
I think the coaches were pushing that, weren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day,
some of the coaches, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, at the end of the day, are you about winning 25 basketball games, or are you about trying to get to the Murphy Center and win a state championship?
Right.
The ones that were wanting to win 25 games were going to go play people that they shouldn't be playing anyway to get better.
Yes.
I'll just call a spade a spade.
Yes. Not comment on that.
Yeah, but now like Clinton, that helps them in basketball. They're got to be one of the larger schools, you know, in the area. Let's take a call here.
Certainly, yeah.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, Johnson. I didn't know if you and Sleepy and John was going to let another dragon home and get a minute in or not.
Well, I didn't know it was you, right? I got you in there. We're all new. We're all a little green here, and got trying to knock the rust off. So when you know, when certain people call through, they make sure sometimes they scream up here and let us know. But what you got for us tonight, buddy?
Well, I wanted to give a big shout out to the Dragons there. Big win tonight there.
Been a while since we've seen a performance like that.
There. Now, did Sleepy, did the Dragons, did they lose I don't know what year that kid was, but he was a big tall kid there. As a freshman, he was good there, but broke a collarbone or something, a white out.
Yes, that was Wesley Phillips. He's a sophomore and had a dirt bike accident last week, and you know that's a big blow to the team. He was starting outside linebacker and starting wide receiver, about 6'5", 6'6", with speed, athletic, and they're certainly going to miss him.
This
Is
just
he gone for the year?
It happened last week.
Is he gone for the year? He says he's one.
I do not know about that.
Class 5 breakup.
I don't know how long he'll be out, but you know,
What do you do? I mean,
collarbone injuries are pretty tough to come back from.
Well, you know, it'd be a big help if he could even come back, you know, for the playoffs, you know, providing we make it. And I like our chances. But, you know, another thing that stood out to me tonight, Jonathan, was the amount of cramps there, you know, not only with the Dragons there, but with the AC and PAL game there. But you might be able to elaborate a little more on this than me, but it's my understanding is that turf there is probably 20, 30 degrees warmer than what natural grass is.
Really?
Yeah. The only experience I have with this is my 7-year-old was playing a baseball tournament. We were out there all day. It's probably, you know, as the evening goes on, there's a guy out there shooting the temperature of the turf. And this is probably what you're talking about, safety. Just repeatedly shooting the temperature of the turf. And the outside temperature was 90-something. The turf heat was, you know, the temperature of the turf was 105, 106.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt about that. But now as the evening falls, I think it does cool. You know, it's not as bad, but it's definitely hotter when that sun is beaming down. But I don't know if, you know, I heard a coach say this it's about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Football has changed. There might be teams in this area and other areas that will not put pads on the remainder of the season and tackle until Friday night.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true.
That's unheard of. And you think, and I'll just tell you, I was talking to Coach Kerr, and he was like, and he made the comment, he said, heck, we'd put pads on Monday through Thursday, 2.5 hours, and we was going to beat each other to death. And, come Friday, we was in shape. And that's what he told me. But, I mean, obviously it's changed a lot.
Is he doing it now at Union County?
I don't know. I was so tickled by his comment because people say, well, we don't even put pads on unless it's Friday night. And for an old coach like Coach Kerr, he thinks that's just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he said, Thursday night we were out there still hitting each other at 6 o'clock. So
no walkthrough.
Yeah, I mean his walk. He walked through, but you was wearing your pads. But
I wanted to ask you a question, Jonathan, about last year's AC and Powell game. There, it kind of sent me back to thinking about last year's game, and I remember one play that stood out to me. There was a 4th down play there, and Powell had the football, and their quarterback, like eluded about 4 or 5 would-be sackers, and got loose and threw a first down because it was on a 4th down play. I don't remember if it was a touchdown or at least a first down, and obviously Powell went on to win, but I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I was thinking that the same thing happened last year as it did this year when AC got the ball back, after they got their own side kick. Did they not throw a pick 6 last year also?
So the play that you're speaking of was actually in the sports, it was on ESPN. It made major news. And the quarterback, they had him sacked 2 or 3 times. He rolls out. And unfortunate for Anderson County, the DB sort of starts looking back at the quarterback, starts slowing down. And Faust, I mean, he has no offers. And he's probably Powell's best football player. And he plays both sides of the ball. All around, he's probably their best football player. And I've known him for a long time. Great kid. But anyway, he breaks loose back the end zone. Anderson County gets the ball back. And when they get the ball back, they did throw an interception, but I cannot say whether they scored or not. I'm not quite sure. But, I mean, it was – they've had some really good battles. Those two teams should keep playing each other week 1 for a while. The crowd tonight and the atmosphere was unbelievable.
Oh, I bet it was packed over there.
It was unbelievable. I mean, the bands are in the end zone. They're going crazy.
You could hear them on the radio.
Could you?
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome.
I could hear the radio.
Yeah, and that game will help both of them as they go into the playoffs.
Oh, I'm sure there. What was the crowd like, John, you and Sleepy there? If y'all were up at William Blunt, did Clinton Faithful travel pretty well up that way?
Go ahead.
Yes, they did. I thought it was a good contingent of Dragon fans and making a lot of noise, especially in the second half, and gave the team a big ovation as they came out at the end of the first half. And it was great to see. Ears were ringing a little bit. They had a lot of noise.
Okay, I just kind of curious what the crowd turnout was like there, but I'm thinking there. If these teams come out next week and we got humidity like this, these coaches might ought to have their trainers and stuff either pack a lot of Pedialyte or some. I always heard pickle juice was pretty good for cramping.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I've actually witnessed it on the Fulton sideline plenty of times. It's not over there any longer, but I know for years it was over there. But I mean, that's all about taking care of your body from now to next Friday.
Right.
I mean, it comes down to that.
If you're starting Thursday, you're too late.
No matter what you're playing. I mean, preparation's 7 days a week.
Oh, it's everything there. Now, did I hear you say, is Queener going to be back next week, or are you going to have my Clinton homies back with you?
I'm going to have Queener back next week if he don't forget to show up.
They let him out.
Yeah. Guy's been on a 2-week vacation. He'll come in with a good tan.
Oh, okay. I got you then.
Queener's a Clinton homie too now. Don't forget
Yeah,
that.
he is there, but
Big Clinton homer.
yeah, he is there. He's not so much well, as a ball fan as he used to be there. He's a little negative there.
Don't let him. Don't know. He's just playing you boys. Him and Josh Heupel are tight. Him and Cornbread were tight too. Old Pruitt.
Oh yeah.
They
He
probably
must be
used to
one of
hang
them
out
young
together
boys.
down at the VFW or something. That y'all didn't know it.
Hey, Mike, was you able to watch the game tonight, the Clinton William Blunt? Did you pick it up?
No, I didn't there.
I know William Blunt was streaming it live on the school network.
I just got a picture of the onside kick that Powell recovered. And one of my good buddies, and I coached his son in basketball, was the line judge in this game. The ball was kicked from the 45-yard line. The kicker's leg is back behind him, getting ready to hit the ball, and Powell has two guys on the 41. So
He's not kicked it yet.
And he's not kicked it yet. They are 4 yards in front of the ball.
Jeez, and they missed it.
And they missed the call. And that ref's he's a Clinton boy. We won't get on him. I like him, so I'm not going to tell you who he was. But and then to come to find out, I was just reminded that he ran for 6 yards and 6 yards carry, 137 yards, had a 50 and a 30-yarder called back.
Called back.
He'd went for 200, like you said. He's an old school running back, boys. I'm telling you, if I'm going to go play somebody, I want that dude on my team.
Yeah, that's good.
No doubt
I want that dude on my team, just like the little quarterback from Clinton. He just gets out there and competes.
He does.
He just gets out there and competes.
I didn't know. I wasn't watching, but I was watching a little bit. I was kind of flipping around. Might have been outside there. I didn't know if maybe AC just got caught with their pants down a little bit on that onside kick, or you think they were ready for it?
I can tell you in the situation, Powell up 7, don't think they can stop you. They've already given up 41 points to you. Why not do it? I mean, worst thing that's going to happen is AC is going to take the ball over to 35. When your defense can't stop somebody, you better do something to keep the ball from them.
That's right.
So, y'all roll the dice. That's right. And try to do it. Well, Mike, we're going to get off here and go to commercial break.
All right. Hey, I appreciate you guys there. Sleepy, you and John, you're doing a good job in there. Jonathan, you always do a good job. So you guys be safe going home tonight.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Mike.
We want to thank the Free Medical Clinic for sponsoring the Friday Night Scoreboard Show. We're going to step out and take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
I just think we're blessed in this area for good coaching. I swear I do.
Well, maybe we're not going to take a commercial break.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll keep talking here. So Sully slid in there for a little bit of airtime. As you can tell, he looks like his mama. He's a little better looking than I am.
Anthony's wanting to get on.
Anthony's wanting to get on. Anthony always calls. It's sad not to have Anthony call tonight. Maybe he can step outside and call. He's probably got a good sleepy question. Won't know why he didn't pick the Dragons tonight. So, and I'm sure Clinton didn't have much cramps because Anthony's part of the hydration team.
Coach Keith Clinton, he texted me earlier and he said, "Don't bet against Clinton."
I like
Or
Coach
he
Keith.
he said, "Stop betting against Clinton."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I will now."
And that'll be fun. That'll be fun. We'll go to the air here.
Maybe he'll call in. I'm trying to get him to call in. Call in, Coach Keith.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. I'm not sure what's going on here. We have a phone call. We're trying to take a commercial break. Couldn't do that. Week 1 knocking the rust off. So, caller, if you want to call back, you can do so.
There he is.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, are they going to do a replay of the Powell AC game on TV?
Hey, Mr. Jones, are you going to do a replay as soon as the show's over of the Powell AC game?
You'll be up to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning if you watch that.
I'm not sure. We will find out for you. Did you miss the game?
Yeah, I was on the field at Sunbright and Cosby.
Tell us about the Sunbright Tigers.
Well, they played real well tonight. They got that Houston. I can't think of his last name, but they got he's number 3. His first name's Houston. He just dominated the line of scrimmage running the football.
Were you a Sunbright fan?
No, I just went and watched the game.
Okay. I thought you were an official. I was getting ready to ask you a question about a rule that I was asked the other day, or it's actually tonight, and I just didn't know. I thought you said you were.
Go ahead. I'll see if I can answer it, Jonathan. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, what do you think about NFHS looking into the rule change of the running clock since high school football games are taking so long without commercial and TV?
As far as the running clock goes, if the score's out of reach, I believe it should be there.
See, the official I was talking to says he thinks that the rule should be when the ball goes out of bounds, outside of the last 2 minutes of each half. When the ball goes out of bounds, you get the ball back in, and when you get it spotted, the white hat clocks it in, and the clock starts running. Right now, in high school football, ball goes out of bounds or incomplete pass, they clock it back in. The play clock starts, but the game clock doesn't.
Right, till the snap of the ball.
To the snap of the ball. So we experimented with this at the Jamboree. Every team that played up there experimented with this. We didn't have a quarter last over 25 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. I think they should look into it to help speed the high school game up.
Yeah, and I will say this. They just said something about the flags. I was down there, and I experienced probably 12 to 15 flags, but they were legitimate. I mean, you got celebrations after touchdowns, and then you got personal fouls. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, act like you've been there before.
We had some of those tonight at Clinton. We've lost some flags like that.
Yeah, and when you sort all that out, are you going to take it here, or are you going to take it on the kickoff?
The big thing that they're telling us as officials is make sure we keep control of the game and keep the safety at whatever it costs us.
So is there a rule in place that you have to take so many water breaks if it's a certain temperature outside or heat index?
Yes, if you're outside the heat index, yes.
Okay, because tonight with the Fulton AE, I heard the announcer, or excuse me, the white hat come over and said, "Can you get me an update on the heat index?" And he went back out and played a series. He called time, and they had a water break. So
Right.
I guess
If the field temperature is, I think it's if it's not above 105, then you're supposed to get a water break, and if it's above 105, we have to stop play.
Okay, so I'm sure there's a range of temperature there for all that, which.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which it goes for the safety of the kids, you know. And, you know, we're talking about cramps, and it's right. You can't start on Thursday to take care of cramps for Friday. That the kids have got to be part of that to start on Sunday.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, well, good luck to you all this year, and thanks for watching the show. And keep calling in. We appreciate it. What was that?
I said I call you every week, usually with you and Queener. So.
Yeah, well, we don't get much in when Queener's here, so that's probably why I talked to you.
Call in on Wednesday night, the locker room chat.
Sure will. You gentlemen have a good night. I'm a former Dragon myself. I graduated in '88.
So we got too many Dragons running around here.
Yeah.
We got too many Dragons running
I was there while Brown was there. I went to school when I was in school when Coach Brown was the coach. Then I worked with Jimmy Gator as a trainer for a long time.
Okay.
I know who you are now. I got you. I got you. I don't see good enough to get this caller ID, but I got you now. Hey, I appreciate you.
Buddy. Y'all have a good night.
All right, thank you.
You too.
And if we if we get Mr. Jones back up front, we'll take a commercial break. Maybe he'll let us know. But, you know, it's amazing to me the support high school football gets in the area. And I talked about, you know, they've taken me to the Coalfield, the Oliver Springs, you know, the Greenback. And, you know, Five Star did an article on that a while back about the football, the top 10 places to play football in the area. And the Oneida, Clinton, you know, Greenback.
That's depending where you go, it's gonna be a good crowd.
Absolutely, and it's, you know, it's really cool for the kids and the community and what we've been through as a country to see those stands like they were tonight.
Oh yeah.
At Powell and Anderson County was awesome.
Same with William Blunt and Clinton. It was awesome.
It's awesome.
Awesome atmosphere.
That's what kids deserve. That's what students deserve. That's what the cheerleaders deserve. That's what the band deserves.
Clinton's band got on the field tonight at William Blunt.
There you go.
Participation, yes.
Same thing tonight with AE Fulton. Both bands got out there and participate. You know, that
cheerleaders.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
So we're going to step off here, take a quick break. We don't have anybody on hold. Thanks for watching the free medical clinic Friday night scoreboard, and we will be right back.
The free medical clinic serves residents of Anderson, Morgan, and Roane counties with no charge primary care that meets 3 simple requirements. You must either live in one of these counties, you must meet an income level, and you must not have any health or medical insurance. Visit us at fmcor.org.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Tennessee who take part in high school sports.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
I am a simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a simplicity dealer.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Welcome back to the free medical clinic Friday night scoreboard show. Free medical clinic never charges anything for the medical care at their clinics. Their clinics are just like the ones we'll go to our primary care. Go visit them at fmcor.org. And we want to thank the Free Medical Clinic for sponsoring the Friday Night Scoreboard this year. Guys, we were, talking OEB Game of the Week this week was a dandy. Really cool that Channel 12 has the sponsors to pull that off, put that on for people who can't make games. And the lineup this year of games that Brad has scheduled is awesome. We're going to put that on the screen. That way everyone can see it here in just a second. Next week, a big game for Oak Ridge.
Big game.
They've got Bearden after losing to South Cole, and then played in Bearden, which is a team that has struggled for a while, but I think,
got
by the
point
sound
to
of
prove
it,
here.
getting better.
They play West tomorrow night now.
They play West tomorrow night. A lot of the experts have picked West in that game. But as you can see here, Bearden will be at Oak Ridge, and we'll have that on next week. And then September 3rd, Clinton will be showing off the new turf against the Ridgers. And nobody, including, every Clinton person around, would have thought that Clinton could have a better record and be undefeated going into that game at Clinton. And that will be an awesome atmosphere.
It will be.
That'll be an awesome atmosphere. The All-City Fulton game tonight, it got crowded as it went on. But the unknown and the uncertainty of really both of those teams versus Clinton Oak Ridge, I like that game being the first game this season. But it's probably going to work out better for Clinton because they could be 2-0. Oak Ridge probably 1-1. But 7:30 on the new turf, that will be a really cool atmosphere.
That's probably the biggest Oak Ridge Clinton game since 2009.
Coach Keith, you didn't hear that, I know, because you're only worried about next week's game against Austin East, right?
Absolutely.
Sleepy picked against you, and now he wants you to look ahead to Oak Ridge. I'll have a talk with him off the air, Coach.
All right.
Hey, congratulations tonight on a big road win. I'll shut up and let you talk to us about your team and who did well, and brag on your boys for a minute.
Well, in the first half, everything that could go right went right. We drove the ball, we scored, we controlled the clock. We had a pick six for a touchdown by Dodie Truss. The guys just played a good football game. We threw the ball when we had to. We ran the ball most of the time, and we just controlled the clock. I got extremely concerned in the third period when we had a couple of turnovers. They drove the ball down and scored. The offense was really beginning to click. And we had a couple of kids, not a couple of kids, about 4 or 5 kids that went out with cramps and didn't come back. So, those guys were starters. So basically, from the third and fourth quarter, we were playing with our number 2s, and they made a real good stop in the third quarter that changed the momentum of the game. And but I thought the Jackson came in the fourth quarter and he managed to swap the clock with expert precision. He ate as much as he could up. He made some good plays with his legs, and he closed it out for us. So, it was a team effort. I think William Blunt has a very good football team, well coached. That quarterback throws some dynamic balls. But I think it was a case in the first half that it was more like a shock and awe. I think they kind of looked past it a little bit. But once they regained their footing, they were formidable. If you want to talk about, it was 2 football games. They won the second half. They won the second half 23 to 7 or 23 to 8. So we won the first half. Unfortunately for us, we scored 33 points in the first half and 8 in the second. So that's something that we're going to have to work on, being able to close out, close our opponents out. We let them hang around, and and they gave us a little scare.
Yeah, and it's Coach, I'll just be honest with you. I watched you play a little bit in the Jamboree, and your line, looked good, and you've always got a good chance with number 3 back there at quarterback, and it's also nice I'm sure to bring in 8 behind him, but much improved, and I just think there's a little swagger about y'all that night at the Jamboree, and I hope that continues for you all. I know Clinton football is and the fans are excited, and we want to wish you the best of luck next week against AE, and that game will be at Clinton on the turf, we hope, right?
I wouldn't bet the house on it. If not, we got a couple of contingencies that Mr. Nate Martin, and Nate Martin and Rob Stacy working on. So, they'll have those guys do a great job. They'll have something laid out for us. But I'm pretty sure we got about 2 or 3 contingency plans.
Okay, well, I'm sure Wednesday night, if there's something that's going to be wrong, it'll be on the Locker Room Show, and you'll get the announcement out. But I watched Austin East play Fulton tonight. Coach, best of luck. Hopefully you'll be 2-0 when you face the Ridgers on your turf there at Clinton High School.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling, man. I really appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Hey, Coach Keith, before you go, congratulations on the win, and I thought y'all looked really impressive, and especially in the first half. And I know this is the style of football that you said you wanted to play when you first got to Clinton, and last year, you sort of went to that towards the end of the year, but y'all look really good tonight, and I'm going to pick you next week.
We'll appreciate that, Sleepy.
Hey, Coach, tell him to keep picking against you. It's good luck.
Yeah, he kind of ticked the team off by picking against him.
That's right. All right, Coach, thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, good luck.
Go Dragons, Coach.
Go Dragons.
All else fails.
Oh, man. I told you, Sully, we got a lot of Grow Dragons around us tonight. So, it's good, and I don't look as much as what Sleepy said earlier about who you're playing. It's how you're playing. And they really came out. They were high energy, high effort. I mean, they gave great effort that night up there at Carson Newman. And just, you can see talent. It don't matter.
It's a good point, Jonathan. You got to play your game.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to play your game.
They had a little bit of swagger about them, and the quarterback's fun to watch. And like I said, the left tackle's he's a big guy, and they had some good-looking kids out there. And I'm sure Coach would tell you, he'd be the first to tell you, he's still got a long way to go. But the way they look now versus last year or the year before, there's improvement there, and a little bit, like I say, a little bit of swagger.
Just from his background coming in here, Coach Keith, we knew he'd be a disciplinarian. And he knows how to, make young men, and he's transferring on the football field. And Clinton's always been a hard-nosed football team. As long as me and Sleeve have been watching football since the late 60s, early 70s, it's been hard-nosed football, and that's what we got, and that's what we like.
And then, of course, my phone was now starting to blow up. If the turf isn't ready Friday night, does anybody know? I know he couldn't speak on that because I'm sure there's a lot of factors. Does anybody know where that game might be played?
Well, I thought they might move it to Austin East. Next year AE would come to Clinton, but Coach Keith talked like they maybe have a couple of contingency plans, maybe to play at another school. I don't know. Oak Ridge is at home Friday. AC's at home Friday. I don't know where you would play it, really.
South Clinton.
Norwood. Clinton Middle played at Norwood the other night.
It really is a great question.
Clinton Middle was supposed to have their home opener Thursday night, and they played at Norwood Middle School.
And I think, I think the easiest solution to keep the game on Friday night is to call Austin East and say, we want to come play you at Austin East. I was over there tonight, and I'll say this. That way no one is wondering. I was over there tonight, and I took my kids with me, and I was perfectly fine. So if you're the Clinton fan watching and you've got to go over there, I mean, you're going to go over there, you're going to park down from the stadium. There's not going to be 150 AE fans over there. I mean, it's fine.
Did AE bring a lot of fans?
They migrated in as the game got going. Now, I don't really know if Knox County people, I don't know if the AE community knew that the game was a 7 o'clock kick.
Is all Knox County, they've gone to 7?
Every Knox County school kicks off at 7. And if I'm the guy that just texted me, does Anderson County and Clinton kick off at 7 now at home?
No, Clinton, that game is pretty sure it's 7:30.
Okay. I didn't hear him in the back. I swear I thought 7:30. So Anderson County schools or Clinton must be keeping it at 7:30. I'm not sure what Anderson County's going to do.
See, Anthony, you owe me. Lost the bet.
It was going to go to 7:30 or 7 o'clock, but everybody else around here is staying at 7:30.
Everybody else around here, meaning Oak Ridge, Clinton, and AC?
No, Oak Ridge and Clinton.
Okay.
And then all of Roane County, they're all still
Okay, so Roane County and Anderson County and Oak Ridge are all still 7:30. I love the 7 o'clock start. I think high school football games last longer. I think they're lasting almost too long, but I love the 7 o'clock start.
And 7 o'clock's rough for this first 2 or 3 weeks, though.
7 o'clock can be rough for thunderstorms and heat, but at the same time, you're in a routine where you're playing the same time in the playoffs. You know, you get in that routine of every Friday playing at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
So it is rough starting early, but as the year goes on, you know, I think it becomes easier. It's probably harder for TV to get set up and stuff for 7 o'clock games, but I love that Knox County. Yes, there will be. Anderson County will play their games at 7:30, but the game. It looks like the game is a really good possibility that it will go to Austin East if they don't play.
That only makes logical sense right there.
It does. Mm-hmm. And you keep your game on Friday night. You know, if you had to come to Blankenship or you had to go to Richie-No Stadium, you know, that's you know, moving that game to a Thursday night or Saturday would be your only option.
Yeah, they could possibly play on Saturday.
And I would say the middle school might play on Thursday night up in Anderson County. Who knows?
Right.
But you know, I hope they get that turf finished. If they don't, it's no big deal. Just go play Austin East, and then your opening game on your turf, so Oak Ridge.
I think Clinton Middle School's first game was Loudon Middle School, and that was the first game on that field. They just got it finished that Wednesday night and played on it that Thursday, as far as I understood.
Yeah. So, well, we're going to get ready for one more commercial break. We'll come back. If we have no more phone calls, we'll call tonight. I know Anthony and Sully are both getting tired. But it's exciting. It's good to see Anderson County, as always, good. It's Clinton, you know, good. Oak Ridge, they'll be there at the end. The Roane County teams, you've got the Kingstons, Coalfields, you know.
Rockwood.
Rockwood.
Midway is supposed to be a team to watch this year. They won big tonight, and there was another game tonight that surprised me. Oneida, Williamsburg laid the wood to Oneida Indians.
Yeah, you know, Coach Lambert.
Did Coach Lambert see something there? Is that
I don't know.
To get out?
Coach Lambert went to Cumberland and college or university. I don't know.
I don't know what Williamsburg's got, but you know, Oneida's. You don't see them get beat like that.
No, you don't. And they lost. You know, they lost a lot last year with Kobe Morgan and the quarterback. So, you know, who knows? Well, we're going to step out for a quick commercial break, and we will be right back to the free medical clinic Friday night scoreboard.
I'm Dale Haddon, the nurse practitioner and clinical manager at the Oak Ridge Clinic. It's very important to get the COVID vaccine. This is a way we are going to make our whole community safe. This is a way we will make you and your family safe. The COVID vaccine is 95% effective when you have had both shots, and it means that you will not get the illness, you will not have the side effects that people see from having illness over a long period of time, and it makes your community safe.
Rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Be great.
Participate.
You call your agent with a simple question, only to get sent to voicemail again. We pick up the phone. Did you get this? Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? Like I said, we pick up the phone because it's ringing. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Hello, this is Sam.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
Welcome back to the Free Medical Clinic Friday night scoreboard. The mission of the Free Medical Clinic is to provide no-charge primary care of uninsured residents of Anderson, Morgan, and Roane County. We want to thank them for sponsoring us. You can visit their website at fmcor.org. We're going to wrap up the show here. It was a late night for Brad. He's probably spent 7 or 8 hours tonight in Powell. I think the takeaway is we're going to be here a while this year. I think you'll have some teams that make some good playoff runs. The 4A playoff will be wild. It'll be interesting to see what develops with Clinton football this year with Oak Ridge. Kingston, another team. They could seriously make a run to the postseason, where they make it to the semifinals the way it looks and could stack up, and they have to play Alcoa. It's never good when you got to play Alcoa, but I think Coach Pankey has his guys, as you said, Rockwood and Midway both poised to have good seasons this year.
That region with Midway and Rockwood and Coalfield, that's going to be really competitive. I think Greenback's in there, but who beat Greenback tonight?
I don't remember who beat Greenback, but Greenback got shut out tonight. I remember you saying they didn't even score. And Greenback's head coach left to go be the offensive coordinator at Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
So
we might have saw some writing on the wall.
Writing on the wall for that. Like I said, Elizabethton rolls over Science Hill. Local guy, Caleb Slover, head coach at Morristown East. that was a little bit of an upset. I think some people thought East might win that game. I know East lost their quarterback last year. There's Midway. Sunbright, as the caller talked about earlier.
Cosby was in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
That's Sunbright. That's a pretty big win for them. 53 points.
Absolutely. I'll tell you the game next week that I'm sort of anxious to see is I think we find out how, I don't want to say this the wrong way because people, you say that about Maryville. I think you find out if Maryville is starting to come back down to some other teams in the area, or I think you find out how good Powell is.
Some chinks in the armor over in Maryville here lately.
Yeah.
Last couple of years.
You look at what's happened there.
Powell at Maryville. Did you know that, have you heard that stat, that Maryville has defeated Knox County teams, I think it's 105 wins in a row over Knox County. I think Halls was the last team to beat Maryville in 2001. I think it was the first year Quarles won the state championship. Because Maryville started out 0-4 that year. But Halls was the last team to beat Maryville, a Knox County school.
Wow.
It's been over 20 years.
And, it's according to how it goes. If Powell goes out there and the green kid has 0 catches again and Redmond has 3 catches, can they line up and run the ball against Maryville late in the game like they did Anderson County? Well, Maryville, they got 16, 18 kids they'll play on offense, 16, 18 kids they'll play on defense. Powell's offense, I don't think, can wear Maryville down. I thought Anderson County looked gassed out there tonight.
That's the biggest difference in Maryville is their depth in a lot of games.
I watched Fulton play them where talent level 1 through 11, first couple years it went to Fulton. But third and fourth quarter, those holes got bigger and offensive line didn't look as tired, and the defense and offensive line for Fulton were going both ways for the entire game. So I think that wears on you a little bit. But I'll ask you two both before I make my prediction. Clinton, Austin East, who you got?
I got Clinton.
Yeah, Clinton.
I think Clinton. Oak Ridge, Bearden.
I'll take Wildcats.
I'm going to take Oak Ridge, too. I think Gaddis will get them straightened out.
I think Oak Ridge probably wins that game pretty convincingly.
We'll see what Bearden does tomorrow night against West. They played pretty impressive against Powell, in that jamboree one quarter, but, it's...
Well, I think Gaddis knows that they can't start out like he did the last couple of years, losing 3 or 4 games and trying to come back at the end of the year and save the season. You can't do that hardly these days. You just can't hardly do it.
Yeah, it's rough to get behind the 8 ball. Powell, Maryville.
I'm going to take Maryville. It's just hard to bet against them. It's hard to bet against them.
I'm going to take Powell.
Kendall Jackson didn't play this?
Yeah, we talked about Kendall Jackson not playing, and have you heard, is he going to play at all this year? That's a question mark, so we don't know. There's a story, I don't think, and we don't like to talk about kids' future and what happened, but he didn't play, and we don't know if he'll be there this week. But I think Oak Ridge has enough. I know they have a transfer from West that's not playing yet, and then one that is playing.
Yeah, one played last night.
I want to take Maryville. I think Maryville has the better quarterback. I think Carson Jones commit to Furman. I think he'll be the difference in that football game. He doesn't make many mistakes. I think Potts has an opportunity to throw it to the other team a lot. Last year, I heard a stat that he had 17 interceptions in the last 5 games of the season. Tonight, I think he threw a couple. Gavin fumbled the football. They called a fumble. It wasn't a fumble. Had a great view of it, and it wasn't a fumble. They got together and talked for 2 or 3 minutes. I'm sure they could pull the replay. They got to talk 2 or 3 minutes. They give Powell the ball. Next play, throws it right back to Anderson County.
Yeah, we heard that on the radio.
But that's right, ball don't lie. So I think I'm going to take Maryville in that one. But, that's a few good games. It should be interesting. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the free medical clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. I think I'm going to let Sleepy close with a couple comments here. I'll let John close with a couple comments, but we want to thank you for tuning in tonight. John?
I just want to ask you about tomorrow night, another big game, Greenville at Central.
We know the Central quarterback really well. He's a good friend of our family. We hope Central wins. But, you know, I don't know. They don't have a roster anymore. The offense last year looked like a complete debacle compared to how much control Roster had for his years at Central.
Did he have 60 or 70 kids out there this year?
They got good numbers. They made Powell look bad, they made Farragut look bad in the scrimmage. Just manhandled them. And you know, who knows?
They look good in the preseason.
They have, and they got used to the new system, I think, a little bit. And when a defensive coordinator becomes the head ball coach, it changes that defense coordinator a little bit. It does. And I think and he was a heck of a defense coordinator for Rosser. I'd say his defense is better. I'd say his offense is better. We're going to go with the Bobcats, aren't we, Sully? So.
What about Greenville tonight? What was their score?
You mean Elizabethan?
No, Greenville.
Greenville plays
tomorrow.
Central tomorrow night.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah.
I just said that.
But
a long night.
No, it's all right. It has been a long night. But I do. I hope the Bobcats win. I just don't know if they.
Well, tomorrow Central might be an unsung hero come out of the woodwork over there and lead them to victory.
There'll be a lot of people. There'll be a lot of people across the bridge up there interested in that Central Greenville game. I mean, you just have to. And I said it. I get caught doing it. I start looking at Elizabeth and Greenville scores and following them because ultimately the road goes through one of those teams that Anderson County or South Dole or Fulton, is going to have to beat.
Oh yeah.
They've taken the title back up there. 4 or 5 of the last few years. I mean, the title seems to be traveling up 81.
Always up Elizabeth, it seems like. They had a few lean years. But
somebody said Greenville will be better this year. They might could get past Elizabeth.
I think the head coach has got, you lose a guy like Greenville had for all those years. Lose his son, lose all those Division I. It's going to be on a rocky road for a minute.
Yeah, last year probably transitioned big time up there.
For sure.
But AC had their way with Elizabeth, and a couple years ago in the playoffs, and then as you mentioned earlier in the show, then it just flip flopped. Elizabeth, they won the last 2 states, and AC had a chance to beat Greenville. That I think it was 2017, and they probably would have won the state.
I'll tell you, that's one of the better looking AC football teams I've watched in the last 5 or 6 years, 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. And I know we hear a lot. It's the best team we've had. It's the best team we've had. But they looked awful good tonight. They looked the part. They got tired. I get that. But they looked the part for a long time.
It's exciting for the next 9 regular season weeks.
That's pretty impressive, too, with what Anderson County lost last year. They lost quite a bit on their line.
The line. But I heard tonight, and I didn't know this, I think the Sullivan Sexton kid is back tonight and started at center. He had 2 guys that started with him last year that did not play. One could be out for the year, one could be out for a couple weeks.
From tonight?
So, no, going into tonight. They were missing 2 starters off the line going into tonight.
Oh, okay.
But one they will get back, one they might not get back. But, that little group that hadn't played much held their own tonight.
Oh,
they had a guy rush. The guy rushes for 200 yards if he don't have a couple called back, and he keeps getting the big skin.
Pretty impressive against Powell, to do that.
But outside of the Nolan kid, I think if you ask Powell, that would be their weakness is their defensive line. I mean, they got a wide receiver starting at linebacker because he's fast and will knock your head off. I mean, he's really probably a safety, but he's got to play linebacker because they don't have anybody else to play. So they're a little thin on defense as well. Well, hey, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to the free medical clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. John, Sleepy, thanks coming down. Thanks for bailing David out, the retired man.
Yeah, thanks for giving us a call.
Absolutely. Short notice. Should have brought you boys some 5-Star Preps t-shirts. But we'll see you next Friday night here on the free medical clinic Friday Night Scoreboard. Have a great week. Football game on TV tomorrow night. Support local high schools and middle schools. And we will see you next week right here at 10 o'clock.
The free medical clinic provides everything a regular primary clinic provides. We provide all your primary care needs, even with telehealth virtual appointments, so you don't have to travel to one of our 2 clinics in Harriman or Oak Ridge. We provide testing, lab work, screenings, annual physicals, and vaccines. All of this for you at no charge. Visit us at fmcor.org.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores, and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Your local Ferris dealer is SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
I'm Dale Haddon, the nurse practitioner and clinical manager at the Oak Ridge Clinic. It's very important to get the COVID vaccine. This is a way we are going to make our whole community safe. This is a way we will make you and your family safe. The COVID vaccine is 95% effective when you have had both shots, and it means that you will not get the illness, you will not have the side effects that people see from having illness over a long period of time, and it makes your community safe.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom.
Very good. They've got some relatives up there on Bowling Road. Oh, there was a railroad track and up there in the woods. That right there at the end of Lake City where that old concrete place used to be. They're putting a park in there or something, they said now. But that Bowling Road's a half main road, about maybe 3/4 mile long or something, and they've got some kinfolk to property back in there, and one of them guys was building they took a road grader and graded off a place to go straight up.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Hello, this is Sam.
The free medical clinic serves residents of Anderson, Morgan, and Roane counties with no charge primary care that meets 3 simple requirements. You must either live in one of these counties, you must meet an income level, and you must not have any health or medical insurance. Visit us at fmcor.org.
American Outdoor Equipment has a great new location in Rockwood. They are a Branson tractor dealer with various sizes to choose from. Branson's greatest asset is their strength, quality, and features. But American Outdoor Equipment also has Bobcat mowers. You can expect the best when it comes to performance, durability, and comfort with a Bobcat mower. Or how about a Dixie chopper mower? They're the world's fastest lawn mowers. They have a large service and parts department. They are family owned and operated, plus they offer in-house financing. That's American Outdoor Equipment in Rockwood.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Tennessee who take part in high school sports.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
The free medical clinic provides everything a regular primary clinic provides. We provide all your primary care needs, even with telehealth virtual appointments, so you don't have to travel to one of our 2 clinics in Harriman or Oak Ridge. We provide testing, lab work, screenings, annual physicals, and vaccines. All of this for you at no charge. Visit us at fmcor.org.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's Check 1. Check 2. Check 1, check 2. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check.
We are the Anderson County High School cheerleaders here at ORUD getting ready for the big game. The best. M-A-V-E-R-I-C-K-S. The best. M-A-V-E-R-I-C-K-S. The best. M-A-V-E-R-I-C-K-S. The best. Let's go.
Host your friends in style and be the envy of your neighborhood when entertaining this football season with natural gas appliances purchased from ORUD at 0% interest.
Want to cozy up next to a natural gas fireplace after a chilly night at the field? Let ORUD help you with the play-by-play to truly make your house feel like home.
Adding a natural gas grill to your home means that you'll never have to run to the store before kickoff to fill up that propane tank again. Make the switch today.
You can make the game-winning play by switching to natural gas this football season. ORUD is your affordable energy choice.
Mavericks. We start the season off with a great one as Anderson County visits Powell. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by the esteemed Coach James Gibson and Coach Brad Jones, and the BBB TV team did the fans a solid for covering this game, huh?
You aren't kidding, as this game will draw a big audience. This game's going to draw a big audience. It's one of the bigger games in East Tennessee. So look for a big scoring night tonight.
Game's going to draw a big audience for sure, and hopefully you are able to join us through Facebook, the website. You can go, you can actually catch us on Channel 12 if you are in Anderson, Roane, or Morgan County on your Comcast. And there's so many players that we're going to see tonight who will get a lot of deserved press clippings and accolades this season. As a former coach